Now, in this slide, I have tried to explain the process of formation of the sedimentary rocks. So, in the first part, there is a massive rock which is subjected to weathering. Weathering actually means the disintegration and decomposition of rocks by the elements of weather, and we'll be studying about the different types of weathering in the coming chapters. So, there's a massive rock which is subjected to weathering, and the rock starts to disintegrate. So the first process for erosion is the process of weathering. It is a preparatory process which prepares the land for erosion. Now, when the loose sediments are lying in the land, and supposing if a river is flowing, in this case there are various agents of gradation, but in this case you can see in the second diagram it is written river. River is also a very important agent of erosion. So what happens is that the river carries these loose fragments or sediments along with it. So in the mountainous areas you must have seen that the rivers flow with a very high velocity. They carry a lot of sand, silt, gravel, pebbles, small stones along with it. Now, in the third diagram, the process of deposition takes place, meaning when the river reaches a plain area, the velocity of the river comes down, and so its transportation capacity also gets reduced. So it starts to deposit those sediments in the riverbed, and further as the river travels to meet the sea, it starts to deposit those loose sediments in the seabed. Then the next process, that is figure number 4, is that of compaction. So in this process, the sediments, because they have piled up one above the other, they are gradually squeezed by the weight of the overlying layers and the hardness of the underlying layers. So the loose sediments start getting compacted. Then in the fifth diagram, you can see the process of cementation. Cementation is actually the gluing together or cementing of the loose sediments. So in cementation, what happens is that in the water itself, there are lot of natural bonding materials like calcium compounds, silica and iron, which act like glue, and they start gluing the loose sediments together, and they cement it to form a rock, and the final product, as you can see in the picture, a sandstone rock is formed. Okay, now again a brief recap of what we had just studied. So, how sedimentary rocks are formed. First of all, weathering prepares the land for erosion. Then these loose particles are carried by their source by running water or wind. After some time, the process of deposition starts to take place, in which the loose sediments start getting deposited. Then, after deposition, the process of compaction starts, in which the particles are squeezed together under great pressure. And finally, then we have the cementation, in which the loose sediments, they are glued together as mineral solutions, and they harden to form the sedimentary rock. So in your books, children, you will see that in the process of lithification, they have also used the term evaporation. So evaporation does not take place in case of all the rocks. It is limited to a few rock examples only, especially the chemically formed sedimentary rocks. So in evaporation, the water from the loose material gets evaporated, as in case of the rock salt.